In a lively corner of the city, where neon lights the streets, there is a small cafe that becomes the center of sudden attention. No one expected that an ordinary evening could turn into a hot topic of conversation throughout the city. All this stems from one simple event. Someone saw a man, later known by the name Squat, sitting with a mysterious woman. The incident quickly became a heated discussion, causing deep curiosity among the public. The cafe, known for its calm and romantic atmosphere, suddenly became a highlight. Many are wondering who exactly is the man who is referred to as squatting. And more importantly, who is the woman he was with that night? Is this a normal meeting? Or is there something bigger going on? These questions filled social media, making speculation grow wild. Squatting, a name that has recently become a popular nickname among netizens, is actually an ordinary guy who never seeks attention. He is known by a small percentage of people as a quiet individual who likes to spend time alone in quiet places. No one really knows why he was called Squat, but some suspect that it has to do with his unique habit of being humble or his peculiar way of sitting. However, his presence in the cafe that night was not uncommon. A visitor who happened to be at the place claimed to have seen him sitting with an unknown woman. They look familiar talking, but there is something strange in their dynamics. The woman looked like someone who did not come from the usual squatting social circle. The woman who was with the squat that night became the center of speculation. Some eyewitnesses described the woman as someone elegant, with simple but classy clothes. Her hair was flowing, her face glowing in the dim light of the cafe. Some say that the woman has an alluring aura, something that makes it difficult for people not to notice her. However, no one really knows who he is. None of the cafe's visitors knew him, and he looked like someone who didn't frequent the place. Even the barista, who usually recognizes almost all regular customers, does not know who the woman is. Some visitors who happened to be near them tried to eavesdrop on the conversation between Squat and the woman, but their voices were too quiet. However, from their gestures and expressions, it is noticeable that they are discussing something serious. The woman appears to often look directly into the squatting eyes, while the man looks down more, occasionally smiling a little. Some say that the woman was probably an old acquaintance of the squat who came from out of town. However, there are also those who argue that he is someone with a special relationship, perhaps a lover or even someone who has professional affairs with squatting. However, there is not enough strong evidence to support any of these theories. After that night, the story of the meeting at the cafe spread quickly. A blurry photo taken by one of the cafe's visitors circulated on social media, sparking various speculations. The hashtags #JohncockDCafe and #JuanitaMysterious became trending topics on several platforms. Comments also popped up. There are those who consider that this is just an ordinary meeting, but there are also those who believe that this is the beginning of something bigger. Who is that woman? What does this have to do with squatting? Asked a social media user. While another added, maybe they're discussing a big plan that will change everything. Some people even began to investigate further, trying to find out the identity of the woman. However, there is not enough clear information to reveal who he really is. This only adds to the curiosity and makes this mystery even more interesting. Until now, no one really knows who the woman who was with squatting in the cafe that night. Is he a friend, a lover, or just someone who happens to share a table squatting? This mystery remains an unsolved riddle. However, one thing is certain. This incident has brought unexpected attention to the squat figure and made her the center of attention. Perhaps someday, the truth about who the woman is will be revealed. However, until then, this mystery will continue to be the subject of discussions that captivate many people. As time goes on, the issue of who the mysterious woman who was with squatting in the cafe is getting heated. Not only netizens were curious, some local media began to cover this incident, trying to dig deeper into the facts. However, these attempts are more often deadlocked. Neither Squat nor the cafe gave an official statement. This further reinforces the various speculations in circulation. On the other hand, some eyewitnesses claim that the woman spoke with an unusual accent, possibly of out of town or even foreign origin. His body language is very elegant. He's like someone who is accustomed to being in a formal environment, said one of the cafe visitors who had sat not far from them. However, there were also those who said that the woman looked very relaxed, unlike someone who is engaged in official affairs. This story also attracted the attention of some local communities who were fond of discussing mysteries. They began to work out theories about who the woman was based on the available pieces of information. Some suspect that the woman is an important figure who deliberately disguises herself in order to preserve her privacy, while others believe that he is an old friend of Squat who has just returned to the city after years away. The growing speculation does not stop only at the personal relationship between the Squat and the woman. Some netizens began to invent further theories. One fairly popular theory is that the meetings were related to matters of big business or even politics. Some netizens highlighted that the cafe where the meeting took place was known as a place frequented by business people and important figures. It could be a secret meeting involving something big. Maybe they are discussing an important deal, wrote one of the social media users. However, this theory, of course, does not have strong evidence. Neither Squat nor the woman showed any signs that they were part of the business or political world. In fact, the Squat figure itself is more often depicted as an ordinary person leading a simple life. When the media and the authorities did not give an answer, netizens took the initiative to investigate on their own. They begin to dig up information about Squatting, trying to find out more about his life. Some people who claim to know Squat say that he is someone very introverted. He rarely shares about his life, even with his own friends, said one of the people who claimed to have worked with Squat. The investigation is also targeting the mysterious woman. A blurry photo taken at a cafe became the main ingredient for netizens to try to identify who he was. Some have speculated that he may be a public figure trying to keep his identity a secret. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. The question that most often arises is why the Squat is so closed about the meeting. Some people believe that he may have strong personal reasons for not revealing the woman's identity. Maybe he just wants to protect their privacy. Not everything has to be public consumption, wrote one of the comments defending the Squat. However, not a few also feel that this closed attitude actually triggers more suspicion. If it was a normal meeting, why should it be kept secret? This even makes people more curious, said one social media user. The cafe where the meeting took place is now a kind of place of pilgrimage for those who are curious about this mystery. Visitors to the cafe increased sharply after the incident, many of whom came just to look for clues about what really happened that night. Barista and cafe staff began to feel overwhelmed by the many questions from customers. "I do not know anything. They just sit and talk like other customers," said one of the baristas who worked that night. Even so, the presence of the amateur detective makes the cafe becomes more crowded than usual. Some people even try to sit at the same table in the hope of feeling something that could unravel this mystery.